you.
Speaking freedom, giving you the answers to be free.
We use the client to develop, to grow, and to bring out the best in themselves. We are simply a tool to help you learn how to make better decisions. Not just one decision, not just today, but for the rest of your life. Encouraging each person through each trial and tribulation.
Work call. Yeah, man. Gotta go in here and dance, but I don't get tired.
Okay, so I think it's either part 2 or part 3 of me speaking on the Big Tigger and his new wife drama. I'm not sure really honestly what's going on. So let me run back where we at. So about 2 weeks ago, Big Tigger's new wife posted a video of her crying with stitches across her eye. And she said, ask my husband what happened. Of course, you know, the internet do what the internet does. Go off the deep end and pick sides. So since then, he has issued some statements. She accused him of sleeping with his co-host too. So him and the co-host issued statements. He has been investigated. He was arrested. He posted bond for battery and cruelty to children, probably because they was around or in the house when it happened. Now, of course, getting arrested does not automatically mean that you're guilty. But, big but, finding yourself in a situation like this after 30 years of a clean rap sheet and only being accused of being down low is diabolical. So today I want to take a different approach, because the other day I made a video and I was just like, man, like I was seeing it and speaking on it from a perspective of he done got himself caught up in a real life thin line between love and hate scenario. That's what it seems like to me mostly, okay? I'm gonna be honest with you. However, today, as details come out, of course, these details could be true or false, because these are allegations based on what she is reporting to the police. So the other day when I did the video, I did it based on something that I read from TMZ that stated that there were police report indicated that they were arguing over a phone. He must have been had some text message or had got some text message, and he told her she was psycho, and then she said, oh, nigga, I got your motherfucking psycho, and somehow or another ended up falling into a door in their office that should be on Ring camera. So this is the reason why the other day I was like, man, it's crazy, because a woman or a man can get you so riled up and attempt to provoke you to do something to them, because if you don't know how to control your emotions and have some type of trigger restraint set up, then you will go off the deep end, and you won't even realize you off the deep end until you over the deep end, and now you're trying to come back. So what is you goddamn slowing down for? Excuse me. Anyways, so real brief moment. Everybody know my two stressors are traffic, people driving like they ain't got no goddamn clue because this person is braking and stopping for no dang reason, and then the VA for obvious reasons. But this ain't about that. Anyways, so the other day I was just kind of like, man, somebody can really draw you or pull you into some bullshit, and then what are you doing? And then so it's two ways that these things can happen, right? Somebody is looking for you to react a certain way, so they draw you in to violence, and if you don't have self-control, then you will lose it. And it is somebody intentionally provoking you to violence. The other side is that there is somebody that may not know you can be violent and you get violent, and that's the occurrence. Now, this is the thing, right? Because a lot of people tend to date in private, marry in private, and then broadcast their relationship afterwards. This is something that people do, especially if you're a celebrity. So I don't know how long him and this young lady have been dating. However, what I can say 100% certain is that sometimes you can marry somebody and not really know who they are. People can tell you who they are, can tell you about their experiences and all of that, and you can still feel as though you are standing by this person because they might be lying or whatever the case might be. On the other end, that can go both ways. The same way she could be hiding who she is and what she owns and all of that, he could be hiding who he is, what he owns, and all of that. Because the same way that she is or could be evasive, she could have done all of these things, including whatever happened to her daughter. All of these things could be true, but she could also be a woman that makes bad choices in the guys that she get with, and then bad things happen to her, and now she finds herself in a cycle of being with abusive type men. She might be attracted to niggas that's down low. I don't know. I'm not saying nobody is down low. I'm just speaking on the narrative from the other end, because I'm not gonna lie, I don't lean on or towards the celebrity status of Big Tigger. What I find myself gravitating to is the patterns of behavior that can be displayed. However, the reason why I'm making this video is because just because somebody's behavior patterns aren't publicized or known greatly, that does not mean that he ain't violent, that he don't have outbursts, that he don't, treat his women a certain type of way. It doesn't mean that he's not a cheater. It doesn't mean that he's not a manipulator. He is a Capricorn. Barely, but he a Capricorn. And y'all know how the fuck I feel about Capricorns. And I really wasn't going here with Tig because he really on that cusp of Capricorn Sagittarius. But I do want to acknowledge the fact that just as much as she could have played him, trapped him, and all of that, and it wouldn't surprise me if they, again, it sounds like a situation where two people have met their match. And it could not be that. Because meeting your match means that you were looking for something, they were looking for something, but neither one of y'all consider what comes with what you're looking for. In the other videos, when I talk about celebrity dating, meeting their match, and being with somebody that has some type of fame or status, I always try to mention that when you're dealing with somebody with fame and status, with access to a plethora of whatever a regular person has access to, you have to know that unless that man has great self-control, has built great wealth, and has certain standards and quality of life for himself, unless that man is like John Hope Bryant, or him, I'm trying to think of guys that profess their love for their wives and don't seem as though they would do low down dirty shit. And low down dirty shit could be sleeping around, cheating, emotional connections that goes beyond platonic friendship, all of those things. Those are things, when men got money, it's so, the reason why I like that show, The Polygamous, where Jonas was dating, actually he had taken about 3 wives and was about to take a 4th one for real, and then he ended up, spoiler alert, he ended up dying with AIDS. But that's not the part. What I liked about this show is that it shows both mindsets. It shows the mindset of the man that sleeps around, cheats, beats his women, and have this lavish life of whatever the fuck he want, whenever the fuck he want it. And it shows the mindset of the women who get caught up in it. Sometimes these women don't be wanting the man to themselves necessarily. Sometimes they just want a piece of what he got. But this video ain't even about that, even though I love that show, because it shows you exactly what I describe when I talk about meeting their match, how R. Kelly ended up with those girls, how P. Diddy ended up with those girls, how Bill Cosby ended up with those girls, how all of these things happen. Some of it come from somebody that's being innocent, like LaDania, or whatever the fuck her name was. She was more on the innocent side, young girl, that he kind of, was luring into his bullshit, and she ended up getting caught up with liking what he had to offer in the lifestyle. This is where a lot of girls get caught up. They ain't never had nothing, they never been around that, and they get caught up in liking the lifestyle. And then once you get to liking a lifestyle, anything goes. This is how Matiba, or whatever the fuck her name was, ended up getting beat the fuck up and beat on and getting done wrong, and ended up leaving her kids with the original wife, Joyce, because the motherfucking nigga was so damn bad to her. And this is how things like that happen. This video is not even about the women, what the women endured. This is more so, I want you to look at that show and see the mindset and how women become susceptible to different types of narratives. Then I want you to look at the man, because let's just be clear. On the surface level, Jonas seemed like the most well-respected, stand-up, honorable, loyal, faithful husband. But behind that, a lot of shit was going on. And this is the part that how we got to us doing this video right here. Because the truth of the matter is, Big Tigger could seem like this noble, honorable guy. I'm not saying that he's not. I done been around Big Tigger in a couple rooms. He ain't never seemed off. He ain't never seemed... now, of course, you got Miss Pat that then called him a hater and said that he was throwing salt on the game because, you know, she do her thing, how she do whatever she got going on, you know. And you have Jazzy McBee that left. But in my mindset, this is what I see going on. Whatever happened with Miss Pat and Shamia, she just had a lot going on with her baby and the new show. She just had a lot going on. So her being on the show was kind of like, it was only a matter of time before she had extended herself with her commitments. But, and I don't know what happened with him and Miss Pat, but I know when I used to listen, I didn't like some of the shit that she would say. But again, I don't know what's going on behind the scenes and why she's doing and saying the things that she's saying. So he could be conniving. He could be, you know what I'm saying, manipulative. He could be a hater. He could be down low and hate. We don't know what Big Tigger got going on because Big Tigger is very private. So the most alarming thing is you go from being a very private man to having a random baby with a random woman, and now you're in random drama. This is the only thing that we know. This is the pattern that we have to go off of. And the only thing that we have to go off of for her is that she got a missing daughter. She accused the ex of doing some assault. She accused, I think somebody else might have been accused of assault too. She got other kids other than the one that's missing. So we don't know what her character really is or nothing. But I do know that she was engaged not that long ago with whoever the other kid's daddy is. And for whatever reason, she ended up with Big Tigger. So it's unfortunate that they're going through whatever they're going through. I pray that lady didn't harm herself and blame that man for whatever happened. I pray that he didn't outrightly or even accidentally bust this lady eye open, because her eye is definitely bust open. And one thing that I've been consistent with from the beginning is that something happened, because a motherfucker eye don't get split by a goddamn self. That's just, that don't happen. Your eye gets split because somebody split it. You hit it on something, or something, you fell, or somebody hit you. But then the other part is that now there is a restraining order. So that means he can't see his new son, his first kid, and his first kid is with some bullshit. Because I just can't let go that you didn't wait all this time to have a motherfucking child, and you get stuck with the very thing that you was trying to avoid the whole time you was without kids. That shit is goddamn crazy to me. Yeah, that's crazy. Because, but again, it's easy to jump into something before you actually figure out what's going on. And a lot of people get into marriages and relationships and they don't have a clue with who they dealing with for real. All they know is the stories they've been told. They ain't did no research. They ain't, you know what I'm saying, nothing. They just in it. Just giving it out. Again, I pray for everybody involved, especially the children. That baby, they got a 1-year-old. That little boy needs his daddy and his mama. And it's unfortunate that violence happened in that relationship. But eventually, whatever truly happened will be exposed. And if he's innocent, I hope he don't lose none of his endorsements or nothing. But if he's guilty, hey, you gotta live with the consequences of your actions, bruh. Y'all have a good day.
I decided long ago never to walk in anyone's shadow. If I fail, if I succeed, at least I live what I believe. No matter what they take from me, they can't take away my dignity. Because the greatest love of all inside of me is sexuality.
Thank you for joining Speaking Freedom as we continue to assist you with your daily growth and intuitive wisdom. Loving is a lifestyle and we love to love. Inspiration is how we fuel faith. Please join us daily for your inspiration and motivation.
We have the entire world to offer you at your fingertips. Your life enhancement coaching specialist. Thank you for choosing us to assist you in accomplishing your personal and professional goals. And have a beautiful day. In love, we trust. This is brought to you by Good Head Group, Love Gang and Speaking Freedom. We thank God for you, and we love you.